The following is a presentation of Kamehameha Schools, Bernice Pauahi Bishop Estate.
Aloha mai kako e nahoa makamaka o ka olelo Hawaii. Welcome to Kulāiwi. This is the 17th, 13, 14, 15, 16th in a series of 24 Hawaiian language lessons sponsored by Kamehameha Schools, Bishop Estate, in collaboration with the State Department of Education. O wau o e kelakani Alpi o Crozier, a o au ki kumu no ke ia papa olelo Hawaii. A makiwaki wau e mahalo aku ia oko pakahi a pau no ka oko nana ana mai ke ia kakahiaka. Welcome to Kulāiwi. This morning is no different from any other morning, any other Saturday morning. We'll be learning more Hawaiian language. And I just want to say mahalo to all of you who have been tuning in, who've been calling and asking questions and trying to follow up. But you remember, I told you can call in here, and I get real lonely, when no one calls. And I know you all sitting back there going, I like call, but call because you worried, you nervous, or maybe you shy, okay? Vaiho I ka hila makahale, kelepona mai, okay? Leave your hila, your shyness, your shame at home, and kelepona mai, and call up, okay? Anyway, but like I said, if you don't want to call in, but you have questions or you have comments or concerns, you can call the Kulāiwi hotline, okay? And that's just a machine. So leave your name, your address, and your phone number, or maybe just your phone number and a brief message, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can, okay? Number is 842-8059. Evalu eha elua, evalu ole elima eva. Hikino? My kai. Oh, we're getting better, yeah, if you understood that. People are still calling about whether they can get copies of this show as far as videotapes, and we are also taking requests for the videos from 1 through 12, from the lessons 1 through 12. So if you miss those and you feel like you're kind of, lost in this set, you can also order 1 through 12, lessons 1 through 12. Call the video hotline, and that's 842-8876. Evalu eha elua, evalu ehiku eono. Hikino. And then, in here, in studio with us, you can call 956-5670. Okay, that's for our Ohana Oahu. Call here, 956-5670. Today is a pretty slow lesson, and so, you'll be able to regroup, I think, all of those things that you've learned and see if you figured it out, and then call in with some questions. Our Ohana on the neighbor islands, call 1-800-342-7949. 1-800-342-7949. And, I really appreciate when you call, because then I know at least somebody's watching. Sometimes I think, is anybody out there? Okay, but I know you're out there. Hikino. Oh, yes, good news. We are rerunning Kulāiwi on Fridays from 5:30 to 6:30, because many people have been saying, well, we cannot watch you Saturday morning because we got to take the kids go play soccer. We got to go do this, go do that. We got to go take mama to the market. There are all kinds of reasons why you cannot watch Saturday morning. So we tried to find a way for you to watch on another night. Many people requested Wednesdays, but we cannot just choose what we want, okay? We have to take what we can get. So what we got is Po'alima, Friday, Hapluohola Elima, 5:30 to 6:30. Okay, on channel 25, okay? 5:30 to 6:30, channel 25, Friday nights, okay? So you can watch, if you've missed 13, 14, 15, now's your chance to catch up and watch that again, and hopefully you can get to the point where you know what's going on, okay? Maikai. So this morning, I have a very, very special guest, and I say that every time, you know, my hoa launa are always he mea nui lako ia'u, because you know, those of us who are in Hawaiian language, we get pretty close because there's so few of us. But the number is growing, okay? And we want everyone to know that. In fact, I'll tell you about this. Sometimes, you know, when a name of a Hawaiian language, someone will say, oh yeah, do you know so-and-so? He speaks Hawaiian. And I don't know the name. I feel like, what? I don't know who that is, you know. But that's the thing. Our community of language speakers are growing, and it's a good thing when we don't know who that person is, because that means that it's growing, and it's going all over the world, not just the state of Hawaii. We have people who call in for Kulāiwi tapes from, we've had them as far away as Saudi Arabia, call in and ask for Kulāiwi tapes. I don't know what happens when it gets there and how they play on their VCRs, but that's their kuleana. But the fact it remains that people all over the world are interested in Hawaiian language. And so we have a really, really good chance to have it grow and have it be spoken all over the place. But I'm leaving my guest right now. Let's get back. This morning, my hoa launa is Kaleikoa Ka'eo, and Kaleikoa has been a good friend of mine for a long time, I think for about 7 years now. And it's been a really good friendship, and we'll talk story about that. Okay, aloha mai.
Aloha mai.
Pehea oi.
Ano ha'alulu aka.
Pilikia, mai ha'alulu, mea li'i loa ke ia. Ai, no leila, no hea mai oi.
No maui mai au.
Ai, no maui. Maui o...
Kama.
Ai. Ia mai kai o kama. No leila, hea kau e hana nei ke ia manawa?
Well, ke manawa ke hana nei wau ma ke kula nui. A'o ana e kolelo Hawaii. Ma ke kula nui makahiki e lua. O ino ka'u hana nui.
E hea au mau papa ma ke kula nui?
E kolu makala a ho'okahi. Makapō.
Ai, hana nui.
Pahana no.
Hana nui na kumu o lelo Hawaii.
Ai,
hana
nui.
Kako kule ana. Ai. A hea hoa e moaho ke kula?
Well, ke kai hana kokua no wau e ka'u wahine o ka hele. He kumu no oia ma ke kula kai puni o anui nui.
Ai.
Ai no ma palolo. Ma waho o ke la, just hana no me na mea liki ole i ke kai ulu Hawaii.
Ai.
Kako'o a kokua ke la me keia mea.
Ai. Oia ko kākou kule ana.
Ai, he kuli ana no. He kuli ana no.
And ha'aheo i ke ia kule ana.
Ai.
Yeah, pololei. No leila, maka o lelo haole hiki ia lako ke maupopo. Well, let's start with the very beginning, where it all started. What inspired you as far as Hawaiian language?
I guess for me, I always had a strong urge and sense of wanting to learn. And it wasn't just with language from the very beginning, since I was young. So, you know, from when I was back in elementary school, I guess one of the first big books I read was some of Tutu Pukui's books that she put out, like The Water of Kane and stuff, and then Kamakau's books, Ruling Chiefs. And then from that, it kind of progressed. And so when I came to school, to Oahu, that hunger then was, just grew and grew, and which kind of fed my hunger to want to really drive to learn the language and stuff. And so, you know, being a student, it kind of helped to show me how it all fit together. If you want to study the culture, the history, and the language is a very big part of that and stuff. And so for me, that's how it kind of began. And it like started off as a spark and it just grew into a fire, and that fire is still raging to this day.
Aye. Yeah, and we see it raging all over the place. I don't know if our viewers recognize, but besides Kaleikoa having been acting in one of our vignettes in lessons 1 to 12, he was just a big star. I never asked him back, but it was a lot of fun. Anyway, besides that, you may have seen different political struggles that Kaleikoa has been involved in. And we were talking before the show about how Hawaiian language is not just for the classroom. It's not, you don't just teach Hawaiian language, but Hawaiian language can take you into so many different areas. And one of which are, is political struggles.
Yeah,
yes.
I guess the thing to recognize, if you learn Hawaiian, it's, that's only one part of the whole picture. And it's a major part. But then again, it's, you got to look at language and in regards to the context of it, Hawaiian history, Hawaiian culture, Hawaiian religion, and to what's going on today in the Hawaiian community and stuff. And every little piece strengthens our people and stuff. And so I think language is a big foundation.
Yeah,
it's a big foundation.
And I think that's a good point, that it's the foundation. Because a lot of times people think, oh, language is just a part of it, but really it's the bottom line. And with the language, you're able to build so many other things on it. People who dance hula, you need the language. People who want to play music, same thing. But political struggle, same thing. You understand so much deeper. Look at like Navahi, and his mana'o, as far as you need to check out Navahi if you don't know Navahi.
Read your history.
Read your history. But his work is in Hawaiian, and if you understand it, if you understand Hawaiian, it's better than reading a translation.
It's such a deeper sense of understanding the ideas that were being shared, especially back then with people like Navahi. But just to touch on, you talked about the relationship of language in context, and I think that's the most important part of the big part that I really like about your show is how it's always attached to some kind of bigger theme, whether it's why, and now it's, like you said, explain kai. Because language isn't just, you don't just learn the words separate from how it relates to our natural environment, to our culture. So it's all part of the same, it's all different pieces of the same thing. So it's very important that when you learn and study Hawaiian, you also understand how it relates and is a part of the culture and the natural environment and the resources and everything else that's out there.
Ai, pololei. And well, that's the whole point of Kulāiwi, that people ask, well, why was it called Kulāiwi? Well, Kulāiwi means homeland. But in our homeland, we've seen our homeland just change, drastically. And yet the language has to be maintained. That's what's going to carry us from our kupuna's time to our children and their children, is to keep that line going, no matter what changes are occurring in the state or in our islands.
Yeah, and exactly, especially with the power that language has in regards to showing identity. I think, whenever you hear, well, I just go back I remember when I first got to UH, and you'd hear Hawaiian spoken, very in few places. Now, at the university especially, you hear Hawaiian everywhere, in the offices, in the cafeteria, in the hallways. And so it's such a different mentality, and it goes together with what's going on there in the Hawaiian community. It's a sense of identity, which then helps pushes forward a sense of struggle in other aspects. So they're all part of the same game, and so a lot of times you people say, well, I studied Hawaiian culture, or I just studied Hawaiian language. They don't really realize that
it's all
intertwined. Especially, well, I just speak Hawaiian. I'm not political.
Yeah.
The funny fact is that while speaking Hawaiian now is very political. Just the fact that you speak Hawaiian, in fact, is very political. It's a sense of stating who your identity is.
You cannot separate yourself.
You cannot separate it out. And so it's important that that you learn to appreciate all aspects of Hawaii, and not just the language and stuff. So.
And I think, the thing is that people get really concerned when they hear the word political.
Yeah.
They always think it's bad. But, when you think about it, it's for the good of the people. That's the bottom line. And it becomes a very personal thing as far as where your choices are.
Exactly. And especially when you got the language, it helps to find the keys. And, like Tutu Pukui always said, nane ke kumu, from her book. And that's part of it. Look to the source, and one of the ways to look to the source is through language sometimes, and understanding and looking at a word like aina, for example. In English you can just translate it as being land, but in a Hawaiian context it has such a big difference of meaning.
Yes.
It's not land as a private property kind of understanding, but it's that which feeds you, that which would exist. It's the land and the ocean and everything mixed in together. So it's a different understanding, a different context, different cultural understanding. So it's very important that that's why language is so important in the reestablishing of our identity in Hawaii.
Well, a couple weeks ago, the resource that we highlighted was vai, like you had said. And I talked about it as far as within the word wealthy, being vai vai. And right there, you understand where the Hawaiian comes from when it comes to being wealthy. It's not kala and keni keni.
No, not at all.
That's not even a part of it.
No.
Vai,
Vai is Vaiolo Kane. I mean, so it's the water of life. It's the water that gives life. And especially today in Hawaii, we all know, water is, nothing can be developed, nothing can be created, housing or schools without water, for that fact. So, Hawaiians are very, very keen when they, use the word wai in its compound word wai to present the idea of wealthy, because that who has water is very wealthy in Hawaii.
Pololei.
Yeah.
Pololei. Well, and lately you've been involved in the Waihole struggle.
Yeah, I did some support. In fact, I was up there those few days when the residents of the area were in the midst of some of the setting up their, I don't want to say blockade, but setting up a process of civil disobedience to say how important water was for them on that side of the island. And yeah, I was very, very happy and fortunate enough to spend some time up there with those people. And you can see, like again, the languages around, and especially in political struggles in the past, it wasn't as important or also heard. But now,
not prevalent.
If you went to Kaha, if you go to Kaha now, you hear it being spoken all the time. Any kind of political protest that you might attend now, you'll hear Hawaiian very strong now. So it's become a part of and they both balance off each other. So, and as you know, with recently at UH, we had a little run-in with President Mortimer and the administration about the necessity of Hawaiian language being maintained and allowed to grow at the university level. And it was amazing to see, students whose deep love for the language, in fact, who've never in the past ever
participated
in that kind of sense, were driven because of the great love for the language and stuff. And so, for me, I think it was one of the most thrilling experiences to see people really care about something that much that they were willing to, show their love for the Hawaiian language.
Well, it was really interesting. The other day, I had a student who came up to me who's just started taking language say, Kumo, I wasn't even in a language class, and I had to go. And I thought, gosh, bro, you weren't even taking Hawaiian and you were already supporting. But that's the thing, the momentum, it's picking up. You went to, not to come away from political struggles, but I wanted to highlight the fact that you went to a community college before you went to UH. Because a lot of times our viewers may think, no, you have to go straight to UH to learn Hawaiian. But it exists in the community colleges too.
Every community college out there, has a Hawaiian language department. But also, it's the community colleges is a nice little beginning nest, I guess you say. For students who are who in the future hope to earn a degree. Community college is a nice way to start that program, where you're not thrown right into the mainstream university life, which kind of exists at UH. So for me, going to community college was a perfect and ideal situation. It kind of allowed me to stay home and kind of build up my own identity, to be strong enough. So when I came to Oahu, I had a little more self-confidence in myself. And so for a lot of people, I really urge them, whatever way, if coming to the university is their goal, whatever way they can get them there, they should take that path. And for me, a community college was a perfect path for me. And I, if that's a possibility for people out there, they should go for it and take advantage of the situation. Because community college is a nice, the environment is a lot more pleasant. It's not as intense. It's comfortable. It's homely. You're close to home, so you kind of have those strengths. Yeah.
Well, I remember when we first met, the very first time we met was up in Kulāiwi on the Big Island. And the purpose of this trip there was to speak Hawaiian for 1 week. And it was so funny. We had like 24 kupuna, I think. And we had 4 guys from UH. And it was the best.
Beautiful experience.
That week, we did it for 4 years, and what it is, it's a full 1 week of speaking only Hawaiian, and there's no English to be spoken. If you speak English, I put you back on a plane and send you home. But it's a chance to really take everything that you've learned in the classroom and put it into action and make it happen so that the first thing you do when you open your eyes is you gotta speak Hawaiian. There's no escape. And it's so funny because you'd be going to Dairy Queen in KL and trying to order in Hawaiian and everything. But I think that was
a great experience.
Yeah, and that was the first time we met. And it was so much fun. Because we were with Kupuna and
I think for me that was the most important aspect of that trip.
Well, and I think the valuable thing that whenever I think of you, I think of how you would tell me that kupuna is so important because you didn't have your
passed
kupuna.
away when I was a couple of years old and stuff. So I never really had that part growing up. Had a grandmother or grandfather that I could actually relate to in Hawaii. So for me, that's why whenever I see kupuna around, I really, really cherish the opportunity because that's something that I never really got to really experience and stuff. So that's why I always tell my students, if they have, especially grandparents that speak Hawaiian or know a few Hawaiian words or whatever it might be, they should really take advantage and cherish, because that's your link to who you are as a person today. So really take advantage and cherish whatever you can get from them.
Talk story.
And to me, whatever you can get from them is 10 times more valuable than whatever you can learn from any kind of book.
Pololei.
And so, that's what we gotta really build and make sure that everyone understands that that's the true value to our heritage and stuff, is what we can get from our kupuna.
Yeah, it's interesting sometimes when I ask my students, how many of you can go back, just tell me who your grandparents are, and they cannot. And it just, I feel real sad and real sorry for a lot of our children who don't know, And to me, even if they have hala, they're gone, they're still your kupuna, and you should know who they are and at least try to know some story about, because that's inevitably, that's who you are. Yeah. That's right. And we stand on the shoulders of our kupuna every day,
And that's exactly, for me, when I got into the academic parts of studying Hawaiian, in Hawaiian studies, when I would read stories of certain people or certain chiefs, knowing my background, that's the most important part. You can say, well, that person, that's you, that's part of you, and that's who you are. And so it's even deeper in that sense. And for me, it drives me a lot deeper to know that, it's a responsibility that I make sure that I provide a good future as a legacy for who they were and stuff. Because for me, I'm just an extension of them. And I want to make sure that lives on and continues on and continues to grow and flourish.
Well, one day someone was telling me, well, this is 1995, and all that happened back then, whoever you were back then, as far as chiefs and all this, that's not you. And, inside, I thought, how can you say that? How could you say that? That's me.
And
whether you like it or not, that's right. Whether you like it or not, that's who I am. And it's the pride that I have to carry on that legacy, just like you said, and a kuleana, a real responsibility to take care of.
Even back to the title of your show, Kulāiwi, and that's. It kind of goes back to Kulāiwi, exactly what we walk upon is our kupuna. Everywhere we go on this island, our iwi, our kupuna are laying, and so we actually are walking and living on our kupuna. That's the kind, and that's another way to look at the word aina also.
That's right.
That's the relationship that you have. It's not something that's totally foreign from. That's part of you.
Pololei.
Yeah. So.
Oh, well, if that didn't feed us and our energy for today and make us feel like we should really go forward and learn Hawaiian language, I don't know what it's going to take. But I feel real strong about, being Hawaiian, being a contributing Hawaiian to the good of our islands, because it's a kuleana. Now, some people may say, well, what if I'm not Hawaiian? Well, you have a kuleana too, whether you think so or not, you do, because you live in our islands. And we all have to contribute to its good, to the benefit of the people. And so, once again, before we close, I want to say mahalo mahalo ya oi no kohele anamai, because ike mau hi kia oi ke nene ma kohale kia ka alipilikia. And we didn't get to talk about kahele. Wahine. This is Kleiko's wahine. because that's a very important person.
very important person.
And what she does, because I'd like to cover that too.
Yeah, well, she's a teacher up at, in the Hawaiian immersion schools up in Palolo in a new school, Anuenue. And, she's very dedicated, works very hard in the Hawaiian immersion schools. And that's the one thing I want, people should really appreciate out there is the hard work that a lot of these teachers do up there, working long hours. But that's a part of the dedication, that's part of the responsibility. And I think what they really see is how positive it's been, especially in the Hawaiian immersion schools for these Hawaiian kids who just, in fact, whose dreams, in fact, are dreaming. They're not kind of stalled in a system that sometimes isn't too friendly. And the positive part of the immersion school, I think, is for teachers, they're really dedicated, and the parents are dedicated, and you can just see this lot of positive energy coming from the immersion schools. And yeah, she's a hard worker, and which most of those, all of those teachers are.
They have to be.
They have to be. And that's one thing I want to say. Anybody out there who thinking about teaching, they should look into seeing if immersion school might be
where they want to go.
Where they want to go.
Yeah. Well, Maika, because I know she'll never come on this show and talk to me, so I have to go through you. But mahalo kaele.
Mahalo.
Mahalo nui ya oi.
Mahalo
Kia
nui ya
kopu
oi.
me oi.
Kia
Mahalo
kopu
nui.
mai.
Okay. Aloha mai. Let's take a look at our vignette today. Oh, I'm all choked up now. Anyway, first, before we do that, people on Oahu, you can call 956-5670. Our Ohana on the neighbor islands, 1-800-342-7949. Okay? We're going to watch our vignette. It's the same one as last week, where all of the haumana are getting ready for their graduation for the Pukakula. And listen for those things that we learned last week. And then this week, we're going to cover all of the negative sentences in the vignette. So things like, he's not lucky, he won't be graduating, don't worry, things like that all say no, don't, like that. Listen for those. These keywords are ole and mai. I'll see you after it's pau. Ahui ho.
E pole, e a kauhana.
Nana nei wau ki kiwi.
A we, ho makau oe, ho loli oe ku maulole.
Na kaha.
Ko mea o kia kalao ku upukakula. Ho makana I ka hole e kolu kia awakia. Makau ku maulole.
Ale wau I ke here wau nana.
Ai, ho komo oe ka lole nani ea.
Ai hiki no pia ko ulole ho.
Maika I ke la, e avivi oe.
Ai mai au tutu.
Ai oe make kula. Ko kua nei oe I na makua ea e ho o vehi ke la wahi.
Ai mai ke kaa.
Ai ke kaa I waho o ka hale.
Mai hu. I hoi hoi oi.
Ai, e pule ana wau ki awakia. Au a hoa maa a nui wau I ka pōnei. A manao wau, makokau wau I kia manawa.
Ai o lohe wau ia oi mai ko ulumi I ka pone. Mai hopo hana mai ka I ana oi. Haʻaheo loa o tutu ia oi, a haʻaheo pua ia oi. Makemake o hele I ki kura nui e li ke me oi, a ka nui ka hana.
Ai, pono oi ho o paʻahawina I nā lā a pau. Ta, lawa ka wala au. Hele oi ho o makokau.
Kikino.
Pehea oi e kalama, makaukau oi no ko Pukakula.
Ko ke ana ke, aka, e koku mai oi a uke olu.
He aha ko pilikia.
Ke hemo nei ke ia pihi.
Au we, ua ai ana oi ke ia palule, ano mino ke ia.
Ai. E ana ke, aia mahia ka pāina no kunane I ke ia awakea.
Aia ka paina makahale o kona tutu, laki loa oia.
Ai. Aka, a ole laki o kainalu.
No ke aha, he aha ka pilikia.
No ka mea, a ole oia e puka ana.
Au we, no ke aha, a ole mai ka I kana mau kaha.
Ai, no ka mea, a ole oia I hele I ke kula. Ua hele mau oia I kaha kai e he e nalu. Hau oli oia I ka he e nalu. A ole hau oli oia I ka hoʻopaa haʻawina.
Ai, maupoko iau, aka a ole mai ka I ke la anohana.
E, mina o ia. No ka mea, ua hoʻomaka pū mākou ma ka papa mala'o ma ke kula kai apuni. E hele mai ana paha o ia ke ia awakea. Mala'o lana au.
Ike oi, pono oi e hele I ke kula. A laila, Aka mai oi. E kalama. E ai ana oi I ko palule.
Ai, ana ke.
E kau'i, au hea oe.
Oh, kala mai, ua ho'oma'a wau I ka uha'i o lela no ka puka kula.
E avivi, e ki e na kaua ia tutu.
Oh, mai ka I e hele mai ana o tutu me ka ua. E, papa, ha'o nui wau ia mama I ke ia la.
Ai, o wau pu. A ka maupopo ia'u, ha'a hea oe I kauhana mai ka I loa. Ai oe makalani ke ia manawe e o lelo ana. E nana I ka o kika mahine nui. Po mai ka I ka lahu I ke ia keki o lelo makua hine.
E hele kākou I kona he ma hope o ka puka kula. Mamake wau e kau I nā lei maluna.
Hiki no, a mahope o ke la, e hele ana kākou I ka pāina o kunani.
Oh, mahalo e papa. Aloha nui wau ia oe.
Mā kau ke po o ke la?
Ai, mākaukau no.
E ho'opo mai ka I kao mau hao mana, e ako ko mai nei I kia awakea. Nauno e alaka I a mako I ke alapono, I hiki a mako ke malama I nā pomai ka I awi waiho mai ai ma mua o mako. Ma ka inoa ka makua, ke keiki, a me ka uhane he molele au e pule nei. Āmene.
I keia manawa, ha'aheo wau e ho'olauna ia kou I ka mākou kumumua ma ke kula kaiapuni. He kane olu a akamai loa oia ke kahi. Eia no o Mika Kahele.
Mamua o ko'u ha'i olelo ana I kia awakea. Makemake au e haawi aku I ku'u aloha, I nā kumu, nā makua, nā ohana, nā hoa aloha a me ka po'e hano I kia awakea. Oia ho'i nā haumana o ke kula kaiapuni, aloha nui loa kākou.
Today we watched Kapuka Kula, our three haumana getting ready. And there were probably a lot of words that you didn't get, okay? So we'll go through the words slowly. Hikino, number one, ayana, ayana. Ayana is iron, just like irana, ayana, okay? And you have to be careful how you say it, and you don't say ayana, okay, but ayana. And I think Anake tells Kalama, e ayana ko palule, okay? You know, go iron your palule, your shirt. Yeah, because she says mino. I think we go on and we see that word. Okay, the next word is aka. Aka. Aka means but, okay? So sometimes like you want to say, oh, ui oya, aka ho'okano oya, okay? She's pretty, but she's ho'okano, okay? A little stuffy, okay? No, like I said this morning in KCCN, no like eat can con beef, okay? All right, alayla. Alayla. These words, aka and alayla, are words that you can stick into your sentences here and they make you sound real Hawaiian, okay? Alayla and then, okay? Auhea. Auhea. I think you hear Papa go, auhea oi e kau'i. Auhea means where, and I think if you remember from 1 through 12, we said that ayamahea was where. Well, auhea is used when you know the person is in the vicinity somewhere, okay? It's like walking through a forest and going, where you stay, okay? Auhea oi, and you hear it in songs, right? Auhea valeana ove, okay? Auhea vale ove. Yeah, I got plenty of auhea songs. And it's because you're calling a specific person who you know is around who can respond, okay? That's auhea, not ayamahea. Our other words, he. You may have heard the word he. Now, some of you may have heard the word pa'ilina. Both mean grave, okay? This is where Kau'i says, ehele kaua I kona he. Okay, I want to go to her her graveyard, e kau'i na lei maluna, to put leis on top, okay? So that's what that means. That small little word, he. Okay, he e ko. Our next word is ho'okomo. Ho'okomo, okay? To put on, okay? To put on, to wear, okay? So I think it's when Kalamai Kunane says to Puale, e ho'okomo oi I ka lole nani, okay? E ho'okomo oi I ka lole nani. Nani, like me, aole, okay? Nani, hikino. Our next word, ho'opa'a ha'avina. Ho'opa'a ha'avina, okay? Remember what we learned pa'a meant stuck. Ho'o in front of anything is a causative, to cause something to be pa'a. So in this case, to cause the lesson to be pa'a. Ho'opa'a ha'avina, to study. Oh, what a neat word, yeah? Ho'opa'a ha'avina, mai kae. Okay? This word you should know already, but I threw it in there just in case. Ho'o ma'a ma'a. Ho'o ma'a ma'a. We've had this before. I told you that the word ma'a, and you'll hear Hawaiian language speakers say this all the time. Oh, I'm not ma'a, to da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm not used to, okay? Ma'a, okay, familiar with, okay? So to cause oneself to be familiar is to practice, okay? Ho'o ma'a ma'a. I love that word, ho'o ma'a ma'a. Can you say it with me? Ho'o ma'a ma'a. Mai kae. Now, some of you may be thinking, I cannot write all this down that fast. You're supposed to look in your midweek, okay? The front section of your midweek, somewhere in there, you're going to find the ha'avina for Kulāiwi, okay? Okay. Anyway, let's go on. Ho'o ma ko ko. Key word here is ma ko ko. Ma ko ko means ready, okay? So ho'o ma ko ko, to cause oneself to get ready, okay? And see, that's why it's interesting. You cannot just say ho'o ma ko ko, and think that it means ready, or just say ma ko ko when you want to tell somebody to get ready. You have to know the difference between the two. Ma ko ko is the stative. It's the way, it's the condition, okay? Ready. Ho'o ma ko ko is to cause something to get ready. Okay. Ho'o vehi vehi. Key word here is vehi, okay? Adorned, decorated. Ho'o vehi vehi, to adorn, to decorate. So this is when Puale asks, I am a he o tutu, and where's tutu? And Kunane says, e ho'o vehi vehi I ka hale, I ke kula, okay? She's helping the other parents ho'o vehi vehi decorate the school for graduation. Kaha. In this vignette, kaha means grade, okay? Grades. And so I think, and we'll go on today to say, a'ole mai ka'i kona kaha, or kana mau kaha. His grades weren't mai ka'i, okay? A'ole mai ka'i kana mau kaha. Kaha also means to draw, okay? Kaha ki'i, to draw pictures. Kulāiwi, okay? Kulāiwi. Kulāiwi is the nation or the race, okay? And Papa tells Kau'i, po mai ka'i Kulāiwi, I ke keiki, I ke ia keiki o lelo makuahine. Okay, that the lahui, the race, the nation is blessed, is po mai ka'i, because of this Hawaiian speaking child. Okay, kau, to place. Okay, she says kau ina lei maluna o ka he. Okay, to place the lei on top of the he. Ke po'okela, the excellent one. Okay, the best, the top. Okay. Sometimes, people like to name their children po'okela, and it's good to aspire to be po'okela, to be the best, to be the top, okay? Vahi, place, okay? Now, when you put ka vahi, that contracts to kahi, okay? So, I went to the place uaheleau I kahi, not uahelevau I ka vahi. Okay, so you might want to make a check on that word, okay, and make sure that that's one of those exceptions, okay, that it contracts ka and vahi makes kahi. Hikino. Olelo makuahine. Olelo makuahine is what we do, is what we learn here in this class, okay? Olelo meaning language, makuahine meaning mother, the mother language, the mother tongue, Hawaiian. Ai, mai kai ka olelo Hawaii. O ka olelo makuahine, ka olelo Hawaii o Hawaii. Hikino. Palule. Palule is not like lole, because palule is shorter, okay? It's a shirt. Palule. Hikino. Papa mala'o. Okay? Kindergarten. We talked about this before, that mala'o refers to the kindergarten. There's also the word kulakamali'i that you'll see in the dictionary. And that also, they say, means kindergarten. Also refers to the primary school, okay? Papa mala'o is a new word that's used in the total immersion schools, okay? So you might want to remember that. Po mai ka'i. Talked about this. That's a wonderful word. It's the name of my kane. It's the name of my son, okay? Means blessing, okay? Or blessed. Hikino. Puka kula. Puka kula. Puka meaning emerge. Emerging from kula, from school. Graduation, okay? So mai ka'i, we've covered that many words. That was a lot of words, we have a phone caller from Nanakuli, Maile, aloha mai. Pehea oi.
Mai ka'i.
Mai ka'i. Mai ka'i mahalo.
A couple of lessons ago, you mentioned how to tell children in public kuli was inappropriate. What is the appropriate way to correct your child when?
Hamo. Hamo. Yeah. Hamo is a nice, it's not that kuli is inappropriate, but it's harsh. And for children, it would be nicer to use the word hamo. Hamo means to be silent. Okay? Hikino, mahalo for that question, because I hear it all the time, walking around, and I know people who want to raise their children speaking Hawaiian. They've been raised hearing kuli. Well, I just think, and that's a personal thing. That's not, I think everybody, believes that, but that it's a personal thing. Anyway, let's take a look at, we're going to use the Elmo today, my friend Elmo. He came back, okay, because our computer had a little pilikia. But I'll only pilikia because we're just going to holomua and go on. So I will be writing and you will be sorry because, I have such beautiful writing. Anyway, we're going to look at no keaha. Okay? No keaha. Oh, let's zoom in. Hello. On, please. Okay, no keaha, meaning why? I'm laughing because it's so ugly, and I tried so hard to make this thing beautiful. Okay, no keaha meaning why? And your response, so easy. No kamea. Okay? No kamea. No keaha, no kamea. It says for the what? For the thing, for the reason, okay? And then you go on. No keaha, why? Oh, no kamea ua make vau, because I wanted to, okay? Hiki no. We're going to look at how to make something negative. Here's the positive sentence. EKL, I see. Okay? Watch what happens when you make it negative. Aole, au, ike. What did you notice? What you've noticed is that when it's a pronoun that's a subject, that jumps front. Aole, au, ike. Okay? He doesn't drink beer. Aole, oia, inu, pia. Okay? Oh, kalamai. I went right off there. Aole, oia, inu, pia. Hikino. Okay, now look at this. This is the negative of the simple verb sentence. This is the one without tenses. Okay? Aole, oia, inu, pia. He doesn't drink beer. That doesn't say he didn't drink beer, he will not drink beer, he isn't drinking beer. That's not what it says. It says he doesn't, okay? How about they don't eat Spam, okay? They don't eat Spam. Can you do that? Aole, no, very good. Start with aole. That's a good place to start. Aole, they, lako. I think we're going to have to do a whole review on pronouns, yeah? Aole, lako, what? What's the action? Ai ika Spam. Hanaho. Aole lako ai ika Spam. You see that? Mai kae. We don't play. Us. We don't play. Aole mako paani. Paani. Hikino. Now, when we want to say, when we want to make something negative, like a stative sentence, say the sentence is laki o kainalu. In the vignette, we heard aole laki o kainalu. So simple, you just put aole in front. Mai ka'iau, aole mai ka'iau. Okay? Hiki no. Maikai kana mau kaha. A'ole maikai kana mau kaha. Kana, the A form of kona, right? His grades weren't good. Okay, and then here's, this one you might want to check, okay? This is the a'ole with a tense, okay? Still yet, we have, he will graduate. E puka ana oya. Okay? E puka ana oya. What do you think is going to happen when you put the a'ole? A'ole, and it's going to jump in front. Oya, e puka ana. Gosh, that was so easy. Oh, hello. Okay, a'ole oya e puka ana. Oh, can you tell I'm a little bit nervous about this? Am I like sweating all over? Because it's not going right. But that's just between me and you guys. Okay, so why don't you try looking at the last sentences that we had? You know, all of those that we had in last week's lesson? All the A verb ana ones, all the A action ana, and try make those negative, okay? Now remember, it's only the pronoun that jumps up in the front. If the subject is kekumu or kahaumana or ko'umakohine, like a common noun, or it's a name, it stays in that place, okay? It stays in the regular place. So if it was a'ole e puka ana kahaumana, the student will not puka, will not graduate, okay? So that's when it would stay the same. I'm going to cover the things that I had today ready for you, and because there's not a lot more that's left. I'll be covering it next week when we can make sure everything is on task, okay? But for now, why don't we take a look at the vignette again and just pay close attention to those new words that you've heard and the negative sentences, okay? So let's take a look at our video. Ahui ho.
E pole, ya kauhana.
Nanani wa kikiwi.
Awe, ho makau oe, ho loli oe ku maulole.
Na kaha.
No ka mea o kia kalao ku upuka kula. E ho makana I ka hole e kolu kia awa kia. Makau ku maulole.
Ale wa ike, here wa nana.
Ai, ho okomo oe ka lole nani ea.
Ai, hiki no pia ko ulole ho.
Maika ike la, e avivi oe.
Ana yau tutu.
Ai oe ma ke kula. Kokua nei oe I na makua ea e ho o vehi ke la wahi.
Ai mai ke kaa.
Ai ke kaa I waho o ka hale.
Mai hu, I hoi hoi oi.
Ai, e pule ana wau ki awa kia. Aua hoa maa a nui wau I ka pōnei. A manao wau, mako kau wau I kia manawa.
Ai, wa lohe wau ia oi mai ko ulumi I ka pone. Mai hopo, hana mai ka I ana oi. Haʻaheo loa o tuti ia oi, a haʻaheo kua o ia oi. Makemake o hele I ki kura nui e li ke me oi, a ka nui ka hana.
Ai, pono oi ho o paʻahawina I nā lā a pau. Ta, lawa ka wala au. Hele oi ho o mako kau.
Iki no.
Pehea oi e kalama, makau oi no ko puka kula.
Ko koke ana ke, aka, e koku mai oi a uke olu.
E hako o pilikia.
Ke hemo nei ke ia pihi.
Au we, ua aia na oi ke ia palule. Ano mino ke ia.
Ai. E ana ke, aia mahia ka pāina no kunane I ke ia awakea.
Aia ka pāina makahale o kona tutu. Laki loa oia.
Ai. Aka, a ole laki o kainalu.
No ke aha, iaha ka pilikia.
No ka mea, a ole oia e puka ana.
Au we, no ke aha, a ole mai ka I kana mau kaha.
Ai, no ka mea, a ole oia I hele I ke kula. Wa hele mau oia I kaha kai e he e nalu. Hau oli oia I ka he e nalu. A ole hau oli oia I ka hoʻopaa haʻawina.
Ai, maupoko iau. Aka, a ole mai ka I ke la anohana.
E, mina o ia. No ka mea, ua hoʻomaka pū mako ma ka papa malao ma ke kula kai apuni. E hele mai ana paha o ia ke ia awakea. Malao lana au.
Ike oi. Pono oi e hele I ke kula. A laila, aka mai oi. E kalama, e ai ana oi I ko pālule.
Ai, ana ke.
E kau'i, au hea oe.
Oh, kala mai, ua ho'oma'a wau I ka uha'i o lela no ka puka kula.
E avivi, e ki e na kaua ia tutu.
Oh, mai ka e hele mai ana o tutu me ka ua. E, papa, ha'o nui wau ia mama I ke ia la.
Ai, o wau pu. A ka maupopo ia'u, ha'a hea oe I kau hana mai ka I loa. Aia oe makalani ke ia manawe e o lelo ana. E nana I ka o kika mahine nui. Po mai ka I ka lahu I ke ia keki o lelo makua hine.
E hele kākou I kona he ma hope o ka puka kula. Mamake wau e kau I nā lei maluna.
Hiki no, a mahope o ke la, e hele ana kākou I ka pāina o kunani.
Oh, mahalo e papa. Aloha nui wau ia oe.
Mā kau ke po o ke la?
Ai, mākaukau no.
E ho'opo mai ka I kao mau hao mana, e ako mai nei ki a awakea. Naono e alaka I a mako I ke alapono, I hiki a mako ke malama I nā pomai ka I awi waiho mai ai ma mua o mako. Ma ka inoa ka makua, ke keiki, a me ka uhane he molele au e pule nei. Amene.
I keia manawa, ha'aheo wau e ho'olauna ia o kou I ka mākou kumumua ma ke kula kaiapuni. He kane olu a akamai loa oia ke kahi. Eia no o Mika Kahele.
Ma mua o ko'u ha'i olelo ana I ki awakea, makemake au e haawi aku I ku'u aloha, I nā kumu, nā makua, nā ohana, nā hoa aloha a me ka po'e hano I ki awakea. Oia ho'i nā haumana o ke kula kaiapuni, aloha nui loa kākou.
Hikino, was that better? Did you have an easier time understanding? Did you pick up the aole sentences and the, oh, I know we didn't have the mai sentences. This kind, don't do something, okay? But we'll have them. We'll have them next week, okay? And we'll have a lot of things next week because we have to cover up what we didn't do this week, okay? And now when you see me outside of the studio, don't you be teasing me because of this show. We're all going to pretend this did not happen. At least Kalekoa saved us in the beginning. He was a very good guest. And so mahalo to him for saving Ekela once again. Okay, Hikino, we have a call from Marlene. Aloha mai. Aloha mai, Marlene. Oh, Marlene, you couldn't wait for me. Okay, Hikino. This is, just not my day, okay? I just want you to know. I think today, porofo noho makahale. I better just stay home, no move, because who knows what else I'm going to be doing today. Hikino, our resource that we're highlighting today is still kai. Okay, and this time I wanted you to try to think of one specific way that you could malama our kai, that you could take care of our ocean, okay? Malama kai, okay, to take care of the ocean. If it's just walking down the beach and picking up opala, that's my kai, okay? If it's going out and fishing and enjoying the beach, that's malama, okay? The important thing is that we don't trash it or we hana ino. We shouldn't hana ino our beach, okay? That's a good word for you to know. Hana ino, okay? Mistreat, abuse. Let's see. Our caller from Aya, Marlene, o Kalamai. O ai, aloha.
How are you?
My
question is, how do I start my own children, even though I don't speak the Hawaiian language myself, how do I start my own children into learning Hawaiian, besides a Hawaiian immersion opportunities? What else do I do?
Yeah, well, we have an Ohana class at Kamehameha Schools. Actually, it's offered through the Ahahui Olelo Hawaii. If you call Kaulike, Kaulike, K-A-U-L-I-K-E. I'm sorry, I don't know the numbers that go with these letters, but K-A-U-L-I-K-E. Someone there can tell you how to get into the Ohana class, because the Ohana class is made for children and parents to come and learn the Hawaiian language together. But other than that, I don't know of any other place that teaches Hawaiian language outside of immersion. But I want to mahalo you for giving us a call. It's time for me to go and to say ahui ho. Mahalo nui no ka oko nana ana mai ke ko pume o ko pakahia pau. Ahui ho I ku umau kamali'i ko noni ka lea aloha me ti. Ahui ho, aloha.